Welcome to Zidam Astrology. Join me on this journey for your tarot and patra readings, your birth charts inclusive of chakras, crystals and runes. Sign up, share and subscribe. Fire Trine. Zidam Astrology is here with your analysis for the period June 12th to 25th. And let us see what this brings for you, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. This is the Fire Trine. And we have the Five of Water. And this is your topic, this is your situation for the period regarding your goal, your finances, your career. And this card really is about melancholy. It's a negative card. It's a card about loss, grief, trauma, despair, heartbreak, sorrow, mourning. Things are not turning out the way you'd hope. You're not seeing the positive in a situation and you're crying over spilt milk. This is what the card is about. This is your emotion. So it's Five of Water. It's about emotions. And there is no getting away from it. The Five of Cups brings sorrow, loss and grief. Its very presence indicates that you have suffered a crushing blow, but on an emotional level. Not physical or capital assets, but on an emotional level. Because it's at the beginning of the reading, it dictates what has been past, that has brought you to this current situation. You may think that your life is over and that it will never get any better, but you have more going on for you than you realize. When the mists of grief and sadness lift, you will realize this and you will become aware of the blessings you do have. These blessings are represented by the two cups that are standing. Three are spilt, but two are standing. So this may be new friends, relationships, your families, opportunities or new potential that you have not yet realized. And like the figure that is standing there that you could hardly see, you're just seeing a face looking at those cups. It shows you a new life. It brings irrevocable change, and it may not be possible to go back to where you were at that place. The three cups that are knocked over is the past. You have been stuck there for too long, allowing your life and feelings to become very limited, very narrow, tunnel visioned. So your focus must now be on the future and the belief that you still have something worth living for. And why are you feeling that way? The influence is on the Four of Earth, which is telling you that, hey, you're being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions are there to be made, and you can give to those less fortunate. And the Four of Pentacles is all about attachment. You are holding on to the past here. Attachment blocks you. Release your fear of losing so that you can progress. When this card appears, you must ask yourself, what it is that you don't want to let go of. Why are you holding on to it? Why do you think that you have to hold on to it? What are you holding it on for? What do you think that is rightly yours, so that you have an attachment to it, you are hoarding it, you are being greedy, your materialistic side, your miserly side is coming out here. What does letting go of it mean to you? Is what you are holding on to making you happy? That is some of the questions you have to ask here that are influencing you. Is it tied up? Is it tied up in something that you feel that belongs to you and you solely, that nobody else should have it? Are you being asked to let go of it by someone else? Or is the call from within you? Do you know in your own mind that you have to let go of it? But because of the Five of Cups, you still want to hold on to it. You are being very tenacious with that greed, that attachment. But you have to release your fear of losing. You have to release your fear of losing and let go to see what would come from within you and what will be new for you. You know, do you fear the changes that will bring to your life, or are you prepared to take a risk? This is what the Four of Earth is telling you in light of the Five of Water. And what is the character? My goodness, your character here is independent, experienced, but realistic and witty. You are the Queen of Air, or you are looking for somebody who resembles the Queen of Air to give you advice, you know, so you can have some objective decision making. You can clear away all that no longer serves you, but you're still seeing the humor in a situation. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire trine concept. These cards are telling you to let go. You are holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to, whether it's your emotions, whether it's money, whether it's wealth. Be independent, be realistic, you know, clear away all the debris from the past so that you can move forward. The Queen of Swords is all about intellect. It's all about having an attitude of integrity, honesty, standards, but being clinical and detached from what you feel you have to hoard, you know. The Minor Arcana card, which is the Queen of Air, signifies that you have to be realistic, you have to be discerning or skeptical of some things that can signify you will receive constructive criticism from someone, and you would do well to listen to it. So probably the Queen of Air is not yourself, but somebody who is wise, who is intelligent, who is your probably a principled stand that they're taking, some kind of clinical advice that they are going to give you or to guide you, you know, that you can be suppressing some kind of pain from the past, that you have to let go of. As you know, the Queen tells you to represent the open-mindedness and self-reliance of yourself, you know. Leave that pain, let it go. And the Queen of Air, or the Queen of Swords, is a sign or a woman who has known loss or suffering herself, and she has gained much strength internally and wisdom from experiences, you know. She's someone who will always defend those who cannot defend themselves. So probably this person is coming around you, and it will be good for you to listen to that person, because you need to let go of some things in the past. You need to stop being miserly and greedy and hoarding things, because it's not helping you, it's hurting you. The Five of Water is all about emotions. The Five of Water is about things not turning out as you wish it to turn out, and that's because you are holding on to some things, you know. You don't want to make yourself vulnerable, but the Queen of Air, the Queen of Swords, she's dependent, and she's not going to mince word with you. So you might be a little taken aback at the beginning when this person comes into your life for this period, but know that this is the potential for you to move forward, for you to let go of that baggage. So give her a hearing, you know, give her a hearing so that you can move forward, you can let go of that baggage. People can stop looking at you as being greedy and miserly and attached to your wealth, or hoarding it and not sharing or helping the less fortunate. And the timing from this comes from the Ten of Air, and the Ten of Air speaks to the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is telling you that, you know, if you let go and be listening to this guidance from this Queen or this person who is mature and realistic and objective but witty, you are going to get the end of a difficult situation. You are going to have to embrace the change and expect things to be better now, you know. You're recovering from some kind of addiction, and the addiction is hoarding. The addiction is not wanting to let go because you feel you have to hold on to this thing to move forward. But the advice coming to you, or that should be coming to you from the Queen of Air, saying, hey, let go, you know. And the timing here with the Ten of Air, which is Swords, the Ten of Swords, is weeks, you know, within weeks. And it could be, this is June, it could be within this period of June. So that within the next few weeks, this person may come into your life to tell you that, you know, you have to let go. You have to let go. And the Ten of Swords is generally not a good card, you know, as it can represent backstabbing, betrayal, bad mouthing, persons bitching behind your back, you know, your enemy's bitterness coming towards you. But it is a card of, it's a card of failure, ruin, collapse. And these cards are giving you a heads up. Don't look at it as a complete loss. Look at it as understanding that advice is coming to you, counsel is coming to you. Listen to the mature female who is coming to tell you, don't have a nervous breakdown, don't become fatigued and exhausted and unable to cope. Don't hit rock bottom, because the Ten of the Ten of Swords is hitting rock bottom, where you are just exhausted. But the Ten of Swords can also say, don't be playing a victim. Don't be playing a martyr, overly dramatic, attention seeking, exaggerating your pain, or that you can't let go because of X, Y, or Z. You can let go. There is nothing that you cannot let go of. It can also signify, some kind of violent tendency. So you have to watch yourself and others around you. But the advice is coming to you, and all these cards are telling you to let go. All these cards are telling you to let go. And the outcome of this is 8 of water. So you started off with the 5 of water. You are going to the 8 of water. And this is the card of socializing, because it's the card of the 8 of cups. And the 8 of cups tells you again a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So all these cards are telling you to move on, and somebody with good advice is coming to you, Fire Trine, for this period, to tell you that you are beginning an important journey of self-explorations, that you seem to be leaving behind something that is organized and stable, but there is a gap, that it shows you have a stable situation that you are leaving behind, but you feel that there's something more that you are seeking, your soul is seeking. The moon in this card is shining through the water there, so that it means that you are kind of eclipsing the sun, which shows how you search for a deeper meaning. You are looking for more than routine in your life. You must climb the mountain to find your spiritual peak. And they always say it is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So all these cards for you, Fire Trine, it's telling you, don't fight it. Don't be that action-oriented, passionate person this period. Let go. Let go and let it be. Somebody is going to bring you good advice. Listen to that advice. Listen to the female in your life who is matured, who is experienced, who has wisdom, and who sees the humor in a situation and can bring that sense of humor to you, so that you don't feel depressed and be betrayed by the gossip of the 10 of air and the bad mouthing and the enemies around you. Listen to the advice, Fire Trine. Bhagwan's blessings has given you the insight into the Fire Trine for the period June 12th to 25th. I thank you for joining me. I ask that you share, sign up and subscribe. At the end of this video, I have a further slide that gives you a tutorial on the trine concept that I utilize at Zidam Astrology to read horoscopes in a trine concept rather than an individual basis for the 12 signs. If you are interested, please look at it. Other than that, I ask again that you share, sign up and subscribe to my channel and at zidamastrology.com on my blogs. Until I see you next time, stay safe, healthy and happy. Bye. Okay, this is your tutorial. As I mentioned to you in this video, that I'm going to leave a tutorial so that you can see why I have formulated the trine concept to read horoscopes at Zidam Astrology rather than read individual signs from Aries to Pisces for you. And I've found in my research and in my reading and from my teachings that there are commonalities between the tarot and the Kundali, which is your birth chart in Vedic astrology. So that these are the commonalities that have aligned together, that have created a method that will utilize the tarot and Vedic astrology to read and analyze for you in the trine concept. And this is a Kundali or birth chart taken randomly on somebody born on April 21st, 2022 at 6 a.m. And this person's birth chart or natal placements are here for you to see that these are the placement. This is the fate of this person. This is the ascendant or lagna, as we say in Vedic astrology, where we say this is the first house of the 12 houses in the zodiac sign. So wherever the ascendant or lagna falls is where we denote in Vedic astrology your first house. And in this particular chart we go clockwise from Aries to Pisces, so that we'll know where your first to 12th house falls. So your first house is Aries, your 12th house will be Jupiter. And each house in Vedic astrology denotes something. It denotes your wealth, your family, your siblings, your relatives, your children, your marriage, your father, your mother, your work, your career, your community, your luck, your spirituality, your illnesses, whether it's chronic or routine, you know, how you will earn your money, how you will lose your money, a multiplicity of things. And each of these houses has its significations that we read for you in Vedic astrology. So this is your natal chart. This is your fate. You cannot change the positioning of these planets in your Kundali, because this is the placement of the planets when you were born, the time you were born, and the place you were born. However, you cannot change fate, but you can change destiny. And destiny comes from the transit of the planets, because each of these planets, they move from one sign to the next during particular periods, and you can change your destiny through your freedom of expression and will, through your ambition, through your courage, so that you can change destiny. You can't change fate. And the transit of planets will give you a chance to change your destiny. And transits, planets move, as we see here, Saturn every 2.5 years, and so on and so forth. This is how planets move from one sign to the next. Neptune takes 14 years to move from one sign to the next. Mercury takes 1 month. Sun takes 1 month. And you will see these are the 12 planets that I deal with at Zedam Astrology, so that they are the ones that I look at and how they move. And every placement of a planet in a particular sign says something, does something, has an aspect on your natal planet, and it throws out potential or a pathway for you to understand what can be happening. You know, it is the natal chart is a map of what the sky was like on the day, for us to know ourselves and to better understand the types of energy we have available for each moment and situation in life. And because of the transits where destiny can be changed, we can say that this placement is not decisive, but it shows options and it marks pathways in which we can utilize to make choices during our lifetime. And then we have the source code of astrology, and that FEAW is basically fire, earth, air, and water. Those are the trines that I look at, and the 4 elements are the source code of astrology, and they are the blueprint of your soul. You know, you become the architect of your destiny by using this blueprint of our soul. And the blueprint of our soul, one of the trines that I use, because it's the foundation, you know, one of the trines that I use is the Dharma Trikona. And the Dharma trine tells you that, you know, this is the trine that keeps us on the soul's mission, the accumulated merit and the manifestation of past karma. And this 159 denotes the houses 1, 5, and 9. And as you see, we have fire, earth, air, and water trines. So this is the source code of astrology. And tradition holds that religious duty, your dharma, is the primary aim of human life, since it is the foundation which you develop your wisdom and your discretion to pursue wealth, which is artha, which is another trine, happiness, karma, which is a third trine, and we pursue these wealth and happiness from the wisdom we get from Dharma, so that we will not compromise our chances of liberation, which is moksha, which is the fourth trine. But I use the first trine because it is the foundation, it is the primary aim of your birth on this earth. And Hinduism describes the Dharma trine as the natural universal laws whose observance enables us to be contented and happy and to save ourselves from degradation and suffering. So that Dharma is the moral law combined with spiritual discipline that guides our life, you know, and this is what the Dharma trine is. And I'm just going to pull up another version of the zodiac circle, the 12 signs, and I'll just give you an example so that this random Kundalini or birth chart gives you Aries as the ascendant, and with Aries as the ascendant, that will be the first house. The first house will be Aries, the fifth house will be Leo, and the ninth house will be Sagittarius, and this is the trine. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is the fire trine. And with the fire trine, even if your first bhava is Leo, then Leo will be your first house, Sagittarius will be your fifth, and Aries will be your ninth. You will still remain in that trine if your ascendant moves from Aries to Leo or Sagittarius. And remember, your ascendant moves every 2.5 hours every day from one zodiac sign to the next in Vedic astrology. And then we have the earth trine, and the earth trine can begin with Taurus, and if it begins with Taurus, then you would have as your fifth house, you will have Virgo. As your ninth house, you will have Capricorn, and this is your earth trine. Then your air trine will be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. That is your air trine. And obviously your water trine will then be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, so that all your signs are taken care of there, as you see. So these are the trines. And why I do the horoscope in trines is because Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, when one is activated, each of these are activated because they are in a trine. They are in a dharma trine, where your duty, where your vision, where your wisdom are all created for you to understand that first house is you are born, then fifth house is your children, and the ninth house is your father. So you get the circle of evolution. Your father produces you with your mother. Your mother helps you throughout your life. When you are an adult, then you produce children. And that is where you get the circle of evolution, so that the Dharma trine here is what connects each of these three signs in the zodiac. And then we have the tarot deck. And the tarot deck, as we know it, has wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. And you will see that the wands is with fire, the pentacles is earth, and swords are air, and cups are water. So that here now we have the commonality between the tarot deck and the zodiac astrology, the source code of astrology. So that, you know, this is what I find with the commonalities. There are so many other things that I can speak about, but this is the basic. You know, this is the basic. And if we have to talk about, you know, a tarot spread, you know that my go-to tarot spread is the Tetractys. And the Tetractys tarot spread comes from that Greek philosopher Pythagoras, who threw out for us the Pythagoras theorem. And he, you know, he can be viewed as a Vedic Brahmin, because Three of the things he did or believed in was that he wore white exclusively, he was a vegetarian, and he believed in reincarnation. And his theorem existed in the Sanskrit texts in India. So that, there we have the commonality again. And then even so, the tarot deck, the fire is clubs, pentacles is diamonds, swords is aligned to spades, and cups is aligned to hearts. So this is where we get the commonalities. This is where I can utilize a union of tarot and Vedic astrology to bring you a complex issue, but a different take on reading your birth chart, because you cannot live by yourself, you weren't born by yourself, and you can't grow up by yourself. There is a community, and that community brings the trine, so that you feel comfortable if you are in the fire trine with people from Leo and Sagittarius if you were born in Aries. Likewise, it goes so for the other trines. So this is my research, this is my method that I use, and I hope I was clear, complete, and concise. I ask that you share, sign up and subscribe, review my videos, look at my transit series, and I will join you next time. Thank you so much.